Kendrick Lamar can pop out in Friends. Whoa. Whoa. You want to talk about an amazing concert. Now, I know for those of y'all that watched it at the crib on Amazon, but your boy was actually in the building. I got tickets. Now, with them tickets pricey, yeah, you got them right. Them tickets was pricey, but luckily I got mine early. I might have said it on the last episode, and I'm not sure, but I know I got my tickets for around like 300 to 350 for my tickets a piece. And my same tickets, the same day I bought them, shot up immediately because I bought them the day of. They shot up to over $900. So I know it was hard to get up in that thing. Ain't no Diddy, ain't no pause. It was difficult to get them tickets. But for those who watched it, and specifically for those who were there, my personal opinion, this is, and I've been to a few different concerts, so I'll give you my levels. I've been to the On the Run tour too with Jay-Z and Beyonce. And shout out to Beyonce because she is one of the best performers you'll ever see. Fan or not, it doesn't matter. Like I went to go see the Jay-Z portion of the show. My wife wanted to see Beyonce, and yes, I was amazed by Beyonce. I was like, yo, she's putting on a damn show. Dancing her ass off. Put together an amazing show when it comes to her songs and the order that she had them in. And Jay-Z, he was cool. Like I ain't gonna say he's an amazing performer because I don't think he is. I don't think Jay is the best performer. He kind of stays in the pocket a lot. But overall, that was a pretty good concert. I also seen Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe in concert is, if you've never seen her, you have to. She is worth whatever the ticket price is. That was probably my number one until this concert. Because Janelle Monáe, same thing, dancing her ass off. Voice is amazing. That she had that guitar player play Prime Time, and it was incredible. All right, and that's Childish Gambino too. He's up there also. And I'll be honest with you, when I saw Gambino, he wasn't doing rap Gambino. He was doing the Awaken My Love album. And let me tell you something. Vocally, I know anybody can sound good in the studio. All right, but Gambino sounded incredible live. And he went through the crowd. Like he went up to the top, like nosebleed, started to walk down singing. Amazing voice. He performed Feels Like Summer. And let me tell you something. Tears coming down my eyes. All right, man. Amazing. But this Kendrick Lamar concert, bro, I'm talking about from beginning to end. Even if you didn't know a lot of the young West Coast artists, DJ Head, shout out to DJ Head too, man. West Coast. He did an amazing job opening this concert. And if you've been to any type of show before, when it comes to concerts, when it even comes to comedy shows, your openers can be very, very important. They can either make the show. They can't necessarily break the show if you're the headliner when it comes to music, in my personal opinion, and comedy. But the energy can be rough to fight through at first if your openers are trash. DJ Head brought his A game, bro. And here's the thing. I feel like he's very tapped into the young streets. So he knew exactly what type of energy to bring in that building when it came to the playlist, when it came to bringing out the young artists in the order that he also had them in. And some of the artists that he brought out, man, I didn't know all of them, but I knew some of them. Ray Vaughn, TDE. He's nice. I think he has what it takes to be in that next kind of like section of TDE artists. Right now, you know, a lot of the main TDE guys, I don't know if they're going to be like, necessarily, I don't know if they're going to be heading out or anything like that, but like we're trying to see who the new crop is out of there. We know Schoolboy Q is set. We know Ab-Soul is set. We know Dot's not over there anymore, but we know he's set. We know SZA's set. We even know like Isaiah Rashad, like they got their fan base and stuff like that. But Ray Vaughn has stage presence because a lot of times, a lot of young artists, when they hit the stage, they don't have a lot of stage presence like that. And he brought it. The Cuzzos. I was feeling the Cuzzos too, man. Westside Boogie, man, he brought it, dog. You probably know who he is. You seen him around with Kendrick. I believe he's still signed to Eminem. He performed Silent Ride, and let me tell you something, bro. Fire song, amazing performance. I've been a fan of his since the Thirst 48 mixtapes, and man, those projects were. I was like, I know people were trying to say he sound like Chance the Rapper a little bit, but he got his own style. He's from a whole different place. You know, he a blood too, and he can rap his ass off, but he ain't necessarily just going straight even gangbang and rap. He's bringing like a sense of like, you know, he's been through that trauma and he's trying to create, like I think his album was, you know, we need more black superheroes, man. Like That's the type of stuff that he's on. It's not about just all the gangbanger stuff. So Westside Boogie performed incredible on DJ Headset. Bino came out. If you're not a fan of Bino, y'all need to get on him immediately. Like, he's incredible. RJ, Mr. LA, very underrated artist. I think he's part of that new West also, that when y'all start to get a hold of him, you're gonna be like, yeah, he nice. He fire. He dope. He got some projects out already too. And he brought out Jason Martin. Y'all all know him as Problem. That's how I knew him, as his Problem. And he performed Like What. And you know, that song goes up. That was, when that came out in the West Coast, that was that song. Like, what? Like, think, what? So Problem brought it during his set. And I figured some of these West Coast artists were going to come out because I heard them kind of like talking about just the battle in general. So I was like, I already know they're going to probably at least be there. But I ain't going to lie to y'all. I was completely in shock when Tommy the Clown came out. So if you're not from the West Coast, you may or may not know who Tommy the Clown is, but he's essentially the king of the crump era. You know anything about crump dancing, you know him and his team is the one that brought that in and made it a thing. When Tommy the Clown came out, I ain't gonna lie, I exploded. I went crazy. I got video of a lot of this stuff. Now, somebody tried to say, oh man, how you enjoying the concert if you getting video? First thing I gotta say is shut your hating ass up. You just mad because you wasn't at the concert. That's first things first. Second of all, I didn't get a whole bunch of video when it came to time length. Like, when I went back and looked at all my video, it was probably less than 10 minutes of total video. And that concert started around, 4:20, 4:30 or something like that, and ended close to like 8 o'clock. That's not any time for real. Trust me, when I go to concerts and any places like that, vacations, I try to immerse myself as much as possible in that. Now, yeah, I'm going to get some pictures, but I ain't going to Instagram flick it up like the ladies. I ain't going to have my camera out the whole time and not enjoy it. But I do want to have some memories for the moment in my camera. And also to brag to y'all niggas that wasn't able to come to the concert. That's what it was really for. I'll be honest with you. I was like, I knew mad people that was heated that they wasn't able to go. And hey, man, you going to get all this video. Now, I also got to say this. I thought that Kendrick was going to actually have some Bay Area artists come out. There wasn't any Bay Area artists, but he did have E40 essentially narrate the whole show, which I thought was super, super dope. But I did want to see 40 there. I did want to see Too Short there. But, you know, it is what it is. He kept it straight up L.A. for the concert, which I can actually appreciate because I'm from here. Now, DJ Mustard, his brother went off during his set. Of course, you know you can get the crowd going by playing Back That Ass Up. Then he played Rack City. Everybody knows and loves Rack City out here. But let me tell you something. I ain't going to lie. I thought Tyga was going to come out when he played it. But then, you know, Tyga, Kylie, you know, the timetables of certain things of that might not look good, especially after clowning Drake with the stuff that he's done for, you know, allegedly younger girls and stuff like that. So I can understand why Tyga might not have been present because of that reason, just off that little nuance. Like, I feel like Kendrick and them are like, hey, man, we got to make sure we keep a lot of things airtight with this. So Mustard was playing a lot of his just big hits, you know, Big Sean, I Don't Fuck With You, all those type of songs. So the first artist that DJ had brought out was Blast. And let me tell you something, bro. If you're not a fan of Blast, if you haven't heard any of his music yet, I suggest you do it. Like, right after listening to this podcast, go listen to him, bro. He's next. Then he followed that by bringing out Ty Dolla $ign and he performed Paranoid. You know how big that song was. That's not even a West Coast song. That is just a big song. Yo, chick look like a bug. Whoa. Everybody was singing that particular line, man. Ty Dolla $ign came out and killed it. Then Dom Kennedy came out. If you are on the West Coast, you love Dom Kennedy. And you know he performed My Type of Party. Come on, dog. That's a goated song right there. Then I think a lot of people were shocked because Steve Lacy came out. Now, I knew Steve Lacy was from LA, but I'll just be honest with you. Just wasn't expecting him to come out to this. Like, that was like the last thing on my mind. And I felt bad because my wife didn't make it to the show. Like, she had to work. And I ended up bringing my homeboy. And I'll get to that a little later in the show. But Steve Lacy performed a few songs, particularly Bad Habit, which is the song that everybody loves. And Jesus, man, word for word, people knew it. And then I'll say this. This was the wild card. This is what I don't think anybody was expecting. I know for damn sure I wasn't expecting this. Tyler, the Creator, comes out, dog. I was legit kind of stunned by that move. Like, everybody know Tyler from LA also, but I just wasn't expecting him to perform on this stage today. I figured he'll be in the crowd because I know him and Kendrick are pretty tight. But I don't know, man. I just wasn't expecting him to come out. And Tyler shows you why he is on top right now, why he is probably one of not just the better rappers in the game and the better just artists in the game. Because I know I don't want to just pigeonhole him to being a rapper, because I know he's very particular about, like, as an artist, like he puts together a lot of ensembles for his music. But he shows you why he is a top performer. Like his performance, his stage presence, his breath control, his energy. After seeing that, I was like, Tyler the Creator is mandatory to go see in concert after this. Like, I had him on my list to go see, but I have to go see him now. He performed a few songs also. He performed Earthquake. Did you make my earthquake? You know that song is like, and I'm a fan of like old Tyler Creator, but I love the transition that he made into what he's doing now. And I'm a fan of that also. And yeah, I was more like, I was shocked and having a good time, but I was just like, yo, Tyler the Creator. I was like, all right, now I'm already all in, but now I'm ready to go. Now, of course, Nip got his tribute. That was a must. When they played last time that I checked, everybody knew that word for word. Everybody was singing that. Everybody was going crazy. And then they played Racks in the Middle. And of course, Roddy Ricch came out. Now, Roddy Ricch been kind of getting some kind of weird love from the internet. Like, I feel like the internet's like, well, you ain't as good as your first album, man. It ain't been the same. I actually liked Roddy Ricch's last album. And the music that he's been putting out, to me, personally, has been pretty good. I don't see where the hate is coming from, but that's just people feel the way they feel. Because I think he also just had mega hits. And that's what happened. He didn't perform in those mega hits. He performed Ballin', of course. Everybody knows all that word for word. Crowd was going crazy. But when he performed The Box, bro, energy blasted through the forum, dog. I don't know if y'all ever seen that video where he's performing like at a festival somewhere, and he's performing The Box, and the whole crowd's just going crazy singing it, and they just pretty much singing it for him. I don't know if this was the same energy, because that was probably a lot more people. But damn it, it seemed like it was close, because the crowd went absolutely fucking nuts. Jumping up and down, screaming at the top of their lungs, singing everything word for word. Bitch, don't wear no shoes in my house. With the boot, with the ride, with the that. And niggas was actually in the crowd singing the sound effects. That's how hot that song is. So I actually can't wait to see some new stuff coming from Roddy Ricch, like a whole new album. And I think he gonna pull some dope shit off. And then, of course, DJ Mustard had to close it out with YG. Bro, LA loves YG. Like, he is like, his swagger on stage was just like top notch. And that's, when I talk about performance too, Roddy Ricch had that. Tyler the Creator had that. YG has that performance element also. He ain't going too crazy everywhere. He ain't jumping around the whole stage like that. But his stage presence is just so fire. And this is how you know big artists from young artists, from smaller artists and stuff like that, because of their stage performance. And you can see why people will probably want to go see YG live. This is it right here. He brought the heat. When he performed My Nigga, let me tell you something. Them whites were in there saying it. I'm snitching. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. No whites was in there saying, my nigga, my nigga. Them Latinos were too, man. Don't let the Mexicans fool you. They was out there singing that my nigga also. There was some behind me, and I turned around to make sure to see what they were saying, and it was like, they kind of was like, my. I was like, yeah, just if you're going to say it, say the shit in your car, all right? I did see a lot of black people there still. Like, when I first walked, into the parking lot, and then we were walking, like outside the venue, but you had to scan your ticket to get to even that part. I saw mainly black people. Like, I was seeing everything else too, but I was seeing a lot of black people. I did a few interviews and stuff like that, took a few pictures with people and stuff. And I was actually super excited to see that our people was out there heavy. We was out there pretty thick. I know a lot of people saying like, nah, I didn't see us in there. We was in there. Here's the thing. I think that a lot of us wasn't able to get them lower seat tickets. Like, some of us did, because we're scattered everywhere in the venue. But from a view of seeing a bunch of us from the outside, and then when I got in there, I think like my row was mainly black, and then there was like a white couple like next to us, and then behind us there was a few Latinos, and then it was like sprinkled in black, white, everything kind of sprinkled behind us. But then I think in the nosebleeds, which is not even really nosebleeds in the form, that's probably where a lot of us was, because a lot of those tickets, even day of, they weren't going for a huge price like that. And I think a lot of people was like, yo, we don't care where we're sitting at. We just want to get in the building. Because that would have been me also. If I didn't get my tickets as early as I did for the price that I got them for, I would have paid the $200 to sit up in the back. It wouldn't have mattered, because I wanted to be in the building. And I almost sold my tickets, bro. Like, I was like, I didn't almost sell them, but I thought about, because the profit margin that I was going to make from it, I was going to make like over $1,000 profit. But I'll be real with you. I was like, I can't do it. I feel like this is going to be a one-time thing. I don't know how much he's going to be performing or doing this type of concert anywhere else. And even if it's anywhere else, it ain't going to be the same as it is here. It's just not. This is LA. The closest it will probably be is if he does it in the Bay Area. But other than that, if he goes outside of LA anywhere else, it's not going to perform the same. The energy will be high, but we are going to give that energy differently. But yeah, to close it out, for DJ Mustard said, YG absolutely killed it. Mustard absolutely killed it. And now we get to K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar. And the first shocker to me for his set was him opening up with Euphoria. Like, I didn't think he was going to open up with it. I assumed that he was going to do that, and They Not Like Us. I didn't really expect Meet the Grams, and he didn't perform Meet the Grams in the set. But I legit was like, oh, he'll perform Euphoria somewhere in the middle. I know Euphoria did well on streaming, but I didn't really know how many people were really playing it as much and how much they knew it. Because I know that shit damn near word for word. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll insert some video of me rapping to Euphoria. But the fact that he opened up with this song and did no kind of background track at all, and he changed some of the lyrics, the whole crowd was rapping Euphoria pretty much word for word. That's like a 5-minute song, dog. I don't think y'all understand that in a lot of concerts, that does not happen. Most people are not rapping a lot of the lyrics. They're saying the hot parts, they're singing the chorus, and that's pretty much it. They're not rapping word for word a diss song, especially like Euphoria, which I didn't know how it would play at a concert, because some songs play well on radio and play well on, like, you know, just listening to them, but they might not be the best to perform live. This was probably one of my favorite moments of the whole show, him performing the song. And I'll be honest with you, I hope that he performs Euphoria. He might not perform Euphoria, you know, going forward through the rest of his concerts, but I hope he does. Because every time I see him in concert live now, I want to see Euphoria, but I know it probably takes a lot out of him, or maybe he'll try to chop it up. And that's what I was going to say also. I thought that if he played Euphoria, I wasn't expecting the whole 5-minute song. I was expecting him to probably do parts, bits and pieces, like the Pusha T, like all those particular hot spots like that. I thought he would probably play it up to like right there and then probably cut it off. But no, we sang and rapped that whole thing. We don't want to hear you say nigga no more. Yeah, they can't give you no swag either. I don't give a fuck boy you hang with. We always rapping all this. Like I said, throughout this podcast, I'll probably end up, you know, just keep inserting little plays here and there of me live rapping some of the songs. Now, the next song that he performed was DNA. One of my favorite songs off Damn. One of my favorite Kendrick songs in general. And I was a little bit surprised that he didn't perform the back half of DNA. Now, let me tell you something. You motherfuckers can tell me nothing. Like, I was like, oh, that's wasn't expecting that. Because when I saw him last time, he performed it. And that's usually probably the hypest part of that song. So that was interesting, but it is what it is. He performed a few more songs, and of course, he starts to bring out Black Hippie, man. Money Trees, J-Rock first. Everybody went crazy. J-Rock's verse on Money Trees is just one of the best features probably in the past decade, bro. Like, his verse is just so, it's the perfect verse for that song. Then Rock performed a few songs. Then he brings out Ab-Soul to 616 in LA. And I was actually hoping the same thing for that. He was going to perform the second half of that song too. He only performed the first half, and I think that was to bring out Ab. But I did want to see them perform a full Black Hippie song. Black Lip Bastard, that was like the song I wanted to see them perform together. But like, Soul didn't perform a whole song, and I know he's going through some issues in the sense of like his vision and stuff like that. So you can kind of see in the video and then on stage they were kind of guiding him here and there. Then of course he brings out Schoolboy Q, Collard Greens, that part. Q just got that swag, bro. Like he's a performer also. Then when Kendrick performed Like That, his verse on Like That, bro, the crowd just went crazy. That song sounds absolutely fucking perfect in concert. Like, that has to be added to his songs when he goes perform for the rest of his life or whatever, if he decides to do that. That has to be a song or a verse that he performed, because that shit just sounded immaculate. Then I figured he would bring out Dr. Dre. Like, I was positive that was happening. I thought he was going to bring out Dr. Dre and Snoop, but only Dre came out. And that makes sense. You know, Dre from Compton, he had to bring out the Compton legend. And when he stopped Dre and was like, don't you got something else to say, Dre? And he was like, I see dead people. Everybody in the crowd lost it. Like I said, I didn't watch the stream yet, so I don't know exactly what y'all saw. But all I can say is I can tell you for a fact that y'all probably went crazy at home, but we went crazy in the building, bro. Like, The building was shaking in there. It was definitely an earthquake in LA that day. When he performed Not Like Us 5 times, the first few times, I mean, here's the thing. The energy never wavered. Like, the energy never shifted. When he played that song every single time, as you can see, my voice kind of like popping and cracking a little bit because I'm still like recovering from my voice in a sense. The energy was at the same level every single time, all 5 times that he played it. My only thing I was mad at was that I was trying to get video of the A minor part and swinging it back around to me saying A minor and getting the whole crowd at the same time. And he kept pausing right there and then not going all the way through. And I was like, oh, damn. And then I had to keep hitting record when he kept running it back. And then finally I got my clip that I wanted. But damn it. I think I said it in one of my other videos. If you follow me like on other social media like TikTok and Instagram. But I knew that Not Like Us was going to get played multiple times. I knew it was going to be like Niggas in Paris because that's what the people wanted. I know people were saying, oh, I'm getting tired of hearing this song. Let me tell you something. You're not going to be tired of hearing that song if you're hearing it live. I can promise you that. Live, you're going to feel different. I can understand that people are probably playing it out a little bit here and there. That's what happens when you have a hit like that. But I guarantee you, right now he's filming the video in LA right now. And I guarantee you, once that video comes out, you're going to start to see the energy come right back around again. People say it's played out, like, nah, the video gonna make it hit again. I mean, it never stopped hitting, to be honest with you, but the energy is going to be even higher once the video drops. And people try to say online some goofy shit like, like academics and all them, and a lot of Drake fans sitting there saying, oh, man, the issues with his like, bro, Dave Free was there. Whitney was in there vibing, out there dancing, rapping. She had the children with her. This is why Kendrick didn't care to respond. This is why also for all the people saying, especially I saw a lot of people saying, even some Kendrick fans saying, nah, you gotta address. Shut y'all goofy asses up. Shit don't have to be addressed if there's nothing there that sticks, right? The reason why Drake stuff had to be addressed is because he has shaky stuff out there. The shit about Kendrick's lady and stuff like that and in his children, all that stuff was pulled out of Drake's ass. And when it comes to something that has no staying power, no stick, no actual evidence, shit ain't gotta be said to y'all, man. Like if some allegations are made about somebody and there's no real sticking to the allegations, right? There's no evidence, there's no camera, there's no video, there's no close person saying like, no, I was there, I saw the shit. Shut y'all goofy asses up, man. Nothing needs to be said at that point. And people keep trying to say that this concert was about Drake. Oh, he did a whole dedication to Drake. No, I understand that Not Like Us was played a bunch of times, but Drake was the smallest part. Like legit, the smallest part of this fucking concert. The main part of this concert was LA. The vibes of LA, the energy of LA, letting people know that y'all not like us because y'all hate LA. A lot of people that's outside of here fucking can't stand people from California, LA, the Bay. Y'all don't mess with us. Y'all have a weird energy around us. Like they call us fake, like they call the city fake. No, man, that's not people that are from here. And most importantly, that picture that he took at the end when he had everybody come on stage for that last portion of Not Like Us Again, and everybody from every single set around LA was on stage. That's what this was for. Uniting gangs that legit have killed each other. And these dudes were on stage, happy, dancing, no bad energy. When you hear them talk about it too, even before the show in their trailers, there wasn't bad energy or weird vibe they're saying there either. Because normally people, you can tell, like, oh man, it's kind of a little shifty here. People that were behind the scenes was like, nah, there was never any bad energy even before the show started. And like I said, some of these gangs do not get along at all. And even right now that he's shooting a video, the whole LA is outside. I'm sure a lot of those gangs were there also. You got to understand something, man. What Kendrick is attempting to do and to bring another peace treaty back since like what? I think it was like the Watts peace treaty that they had back in the 90s. This can be massive. Now, what has to happen though, we have to be leery of the police. That's who the problem is. Because I was hearing a lot of rumblings back in the day when the peace treaties were kind of starting to get together and try to solve some things. You had a lot of LAPD allegedly going around actually doing drive-bys and like dropping flags and stuff like that in the neighborhood that's from the opposite gang and being like, oh, we did find a blue flag on the ground, and now they thinking it's the rival gang that did some shit. So that's what we got to be careful about, is about really the city doing some goofy shit like that again. So like I said, man, I actually went to the concert with one of my closest homies, my boy Rick, and Rick's from Watts, man, so he got that energy. He was like one of the first people that like, that actually put me on J-Rock back in the day, because his family like knew of people from J-Rock's family because they were from the same area. And I remember his grandmother was the one that said, hey, y'all better keep an eye on this dude J-Rock, man. He from Bounty Hunters. He's dope as hell. Keep an eye out for him. And we started to look for music from J-Rock. And in that, we started to hear a little bit of rumblings about Kendrick, but But when I first got a chance to really, really hear Kendrick was actually from the Game and his Black Wall Street days. Now, I know that Game wasn't at the concert, and a lot of people kind of saying stuff about that too, about how weird that is. It was a little bit weird, and I do think, I know Game, he kind of put out like an interview saying that it's no real issue. It might not be necessarily a real big issue, but at the end of the day, I think him kind of saying some things about Drake being his brother and, him kind of like having them kind of Drake ties, it kind of probably was like, all right, we ain't having that. But yet and still, Game was probably the biggest artist that put Kendrick on first. And that was at the height of like Game's career. And I was actually at Alabama State, man. We couldn't get no music but a lot of down south music. We had to get our mixtapes from offline and stuff like that. And actually the person that was like living across the hall from us at the dorms in Alabama State, he actually had Game's album because we couldn't find it in Alabama. So we ended up all kind of connecting. But like hearing Kendrick for the first time with my homie Rick, we was like, yo, this dude has it. We was like, we don't know how big he's going to be because I feel like some people might not be able to get him because, when we first heard Kendrick, he had like a super dope awkward flow. He was funny. He was rapping. Like he had some dope shit in there. Like his voice. I wonder from the mainstream perspective, would people be able to get him and when he be this big superstar? So it was great to be able to circle around and go back up essentially somebody I call like my relative, you know what I'm saying? Like for us to actually go and watch this concert together after, being probably Kendrick's first early fans. Like we were probably the first probably couple hundred of Kendrick's real fans back in the day. So to be able to go watch that concert, the energy was just crazy.